So it's Masechet Eruvin, Perek Chet, Mishnah Vav. Bor shel mayim, we have a well of water, talking about wells. Sheben shtei chatzerot, that's in between two courtyards. שהכותל המפסיק בשני החצרות עובר על פני הבור. And they actually share the well. How do I mean they share the well? Because the wall between the two properties go over the well, on the top of the well. So it means this courtyard has on top of the well. No, on top.
This guy has fancy and
This guy have half. These people, this courtyard has half, and this courtyard have half. ונמצא חציו בחצר זה. And we find half the well is in this courtyard, וחציו בחצר זו, and half the well is in the other courtyard. Just practically, you would say, just make an eruv between you guys. So there's two possibilities. Either they didn't make an eruv, these two guys, whatever, or these two courtyards, for whatever reason, if they forgot, or more practically, many times there was no reason to make the eruv. I'll tell you why, because it's almost like in India. If there's a family of Kohanim that living around this courtyard and a family of non-Kohanim who live in the other courtyard, they don't eat in each other's houses. They're not gonna, so they don't have an incentive to make the Eruv. So you make an Eruv because if you want to carry from one property to the other property, you don't want your kids to go to the other guy's property. They're going to become impure, the Kohanim family. So on purpose, there's no Eruv. But now they can't use the courtyard, they can't use the well. That's a problem, for a practical reason. So it says, Ein memal'im mimenu b'Shabbat. You're not allowed to take the water from the well on Shabbat, because the water intermingles. Which water are you taking from? In other words, it's almost like you're taking from his property sometimes. The well, I know you're taking the water from your side. Mm-hmm. But half of it is yours, half of it is his.
So what if I take from the Reshut HaYachid?
No, it's in your courtyard. Imagine you have something in your courtyard.
It's something bored and it's amok, it makes it something, no?
Well, I don't think so. We're going to see, I think a stream becomes a Carmelite. Or a well in the public domain, I think, is different. But, yeah, and
it's got like a different reshut. You can.
And if you want to make it to eliminate your problem, in order to be Reshut HaYachid, it has to be 4 on 4. So let's say this well is 3 on 3. Yeah, okay. But you're right. It might be Reshut HaYachid. I'm not quite sure how it's going to work. Yeah. En memali mimenu b'Shabbat. We don't fill from this well on Shabbat, not to this property, nor to that property. Im shtei hachatzerot lo yirvu zo im zo. If the two courtyards did not make an eruv between each other, asur לאנשי כל חצר למלא מים מן הבור בשבת. Each one is prohibited to take water from this well on Shabbat. לפי, because the water intermingles. It goes from my courtyard to your courtyard. Yeah? לפי שנמצאים ממלאים מרשות החצר לאחרת. Because the water is all the time intermingling. You're taking out water from the other guy. But we're going to give them permission if they're going to do something. What if they do? אלא אם כן עשו לבור מחיצה. If they're going to make to this pit, to this well, a מחיצה, a boundary, then we're going to let you do it. What does it mean? מיוחדת, a special boundary, not a regular boundary. What does it mean? גבוהה 10 טפחים. First of all, the first rule of the boundary, it has to be the height of 10 טפחים. 10 טפחים, but 1 meter. כדי שיהיו אנשי כל חצר דולים מרשותם. And then, when you separate the well with a מחיצה, we're going to see what it means soon, then each courtyard is able to draw water to their own property. בין מלמעלה. Now, this is the possibilities. Some say the boundary, what's the idea of the boundary, is to separate, you actually kind of allow to use the well. Yeah. That's what you say. It's in your property. You're taking from your side of the water. You kind of allowed to use the well. But there's intermingling of the water and it looks like not good. Somebody might come. But when you draw out the water, you draw from your side. What do you care about the intermingling? Yeah, that's what some say. But at least people should know that it's a problem because maybe there's going to be a situation in other places and they're going to might do it. So it says, Ben milemala. So some says the boundary, this 10 tfachim, has to be from above the well, above the water. כלומר, שהמחיצה מחלקת את חלל הבור עד סמוך המים. In other words, there's a well, there's empty space. Think like the cup. There's empty space, and the water starts over here at this level. So you're going to take a mechitza, and you're going to put like my fingers right over here, above the water.
All the way down.
10 tfachim. I don't care how much. 10 tfachim. And the question now, does it need to touch the water?
10 tfachim
Within, above the water.
Or under the ground.
Very good. We're going to be good. 10 tfachim, it says above the water. That's what that's the first step. Okay? No, it says bilemala, from above.
So it goes down 10 tfachim.
The mechitza is above the water, but in the airspace of the well, but doesn't touch the water.
Right. 10
Yeah. מלמעלה. מן המים, 10 טווחים from המים, מן המים. כלומר שהמחיצה מחלקת את חלל הבור עד סמוך למים. That it goes until it goes in the space in the pit itself until the water. ויש נוסחתות שאין גורסים שתיים בין מלמעלה. Some Mishnahs don't have the words בין מלמעלה. There's another opinion. Oh, not another opinion. Same opinion. It says it doesn't matter whether you put the mechitza above the water or בין מלמטה or under the water. So you can also put the mechitza under the water. Inside the water. Yeah. And then for sure it's there. In other words, one is more careful about the way it looks. One is more careful about the reality. The one who has the mechitza in the water, he says, I don't care how it looks. I want to care where you take the water from. The other side says, no. I care about the way it looks, not about the reality.
But you understand that both of them is actually
playing games. Yeah. Both, because it looks like it doesn't really need one.
Because it could be the underground water is coming from his property.
Yeah.
From his property.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. As long as there's some water in your property, that water you'll have to take. Even though it's in a... Yeah. But you're right. I understand what you're saying. בין מלמטה, מן המים, כלומר שהמחיצה נתונה בתוך המים. That the מחיצה is found inside the water. בין מתוך עוגנו, whether you make the מחיצה from inside the empty area, the עוגנו is the inside the pit, the area inside the pit, that's עוגנו, משפת הבור ולמטה, from the pit down, על פי שאינה מגיעה למים. It doesn't even have to reach the water. שכן כולה היא, and here is your question. This is a leniency, שהקילו חכמים במים, that the sages came made when it comes to water. This whole Eruvin stuff is an invention of the sages, right? This whole Eruvin stuff is an invention of the sages. So they said that we're not going to make the life of the people too miserable. If they have a well on their property, they're sharing a well, many properties share a well, we don't want to make the life miserable, we're going to make it easy for them. שאנו רואים את המחיצה כאילו יורדת וחוצה את כל הבור. So as we're going to see this mechitza as if it's going down all the way down, דוך and דוך, even though it doesn't. ברם, רוב המפרשים מבארים לפי דעת רב יהודה בגמרא. This is the first Tanakama, the first opinion. Most of the Mefarshim don't understand it the way we explain it now. How do they explain it? When it says ben milemala, when it says whether it is up or whether it is down, it means that it has to actually separate the water. So it says how do they say? So if it's up, how do you separate the water? Ben milemala. So it says whether it is above the water. שתשעת טפחים של המחיצה הם למעלה מן המים. 9 טפחים of the מחיצה have to be above the water. וטפח אחד משוקע במים. And 1 טפח is inside the water. And by the way, you can probably already imagine, we're not going to go into the Gemara's Svaras, but it looks like, what are they worried? They're probably worried that the level of the water is coming down and going up. So it says, if it's coming down, we're not worried, this opinion is not worried if the water of the level is going to go up. Even if you're not Sorry, this opinion is worried that the level of the water will go up. It's not worried.
Will go down.
Oh, no, it's opposite. This opinion is worried that if the level of the water will go up, it's not a problem. Why it's not a problem? Because you have 9 tfachim for the people still to see. There's a large amount for the level to go out, and you'll be able to see the boundary. The other opinion, if it's 1 up and 9 down, which we're going to cover soon, is not worried that it's going to go up, that you're not going to see. Because it's worried about the reality, as long as it's divided. So you can see the 2 svaras. It's the same idea as before, just in 2 ideas. Ben milamata, where it is down, שהיו 9 טפחים מן המחיצה משוקים במים, that there were 9 טפחים of the מחיצה inside the water, וטפח אחד יוצא מן מלמעלה, and 1 טפח goes out from the water upside, כדי שיהיה היכר בין שני הרשויות, so that you're going to have a distinction between the 2 boundaries, either a sight distinction or a reality distinction. That's the 2 opinions. And according to this, you still need to have a distinction in both. The question is, which one is more important, the sight or the reality? According to this opinion. Okay. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel Omer. So that now we have almost, we have an opinion that it says as long as he has a mechitza, whether it's above, whether it is below, you're fine. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel Omer. Rabban Shimon, the son of Gamliel, says, Beit Shammai omri milemata, ubeit Hillel omri milemala. He says the house of Shammai says it has to be under the water, and Beit Hillel says it has to be on top of the water. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel eno ba lachlok al Tana Kama. He doesn't come to disagree with the first Tana. Ela lashmienu shedavar ze shanu b'machloket Beit Shammai lebeit Hillel. He explains to us the distinction. The Tana Kama goes according to both Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel, and he says both are okay opinions. שלדעת בית שמאי צריך לעשות מחיצה דווקא מלמטה. According to the house of Shammai, the מחיצה have to be from down, inside the water. ואילו בית הלל מקלים מסוברים שמותר לעשותם למעלה. And בית הלל says, as long as you show that there's a מחיצה, that's fine, even though there's no real מחיצה. That's why it's lenient. וכן, מה ששנינו במשנתנו, and this is what we said in our Mishnah, בין מתוך עוגנו כדעת בית הלל, and then it says that whether it is within the hall according to the house of Hillel, he שבמה שאמרו מלמעלה, this is according to the opinion that says from above, כוללים הן בין מלמעלה מן המים ובין מתוך עוגנו. They say it's both, whether it is above the water or above inside the pit itself. Okay. Amar Rabbi Yehuda comes around and he says, guys, I don't understand. You yourself says that the rabbis don't want to make a hard time for us, right? You yourself, the holy thing, you see that the rabbis go out of the way when it comes to the well to make it easy. So it says, if that's what you're thinking, why are you making all this trouble? There's a wall in between. Use the wall that's on top to make. If you're saying it's only there for a show, right? You're saying, according to both opinions, you're not, even if you put the mechitza in the water, it's not really in the water because the water goes from underneath the mechitza, right? Yeah, it's only for show, it's only for sight. So you have a sight, you have a wall on top that divides the 2 properties. Why? There's a gader, there's a fence atop the well. That should be enough. Why do we have to go through all these things? Amar Rabbi Yehuda said, לא תהא מחיצה גדולה מן הכותל שביניהם. It says the מחיצה that has the fence separating between the 2 properties should be more than enough to separate it. כלומר, which means, הואיל והכותל המפסיק בין שני החצרות עובר על פני הבור, as long as the wall or the fence goes above the well, אין צריכים עוד למחיצה אחרת בתוך הבור. You don't need another מחיצה inside the pit. שכשם שמחיצה בתוך עוגן הבור מועילה להבדיל בין הרשויות, and you yourself said that the מחיצה inside that nobody sees, only when we come to draw the water is enough because it's not really necessary, you're saying. So if that's enough, my מחיצה on top, everybody sees should be enough. כך גם הכותל שבין החצרות, אף על פי שלמעלה מחוליית הבור. Even the wall that is between the 2 courtyards, even though it's not in the pit itself, There is an advantage to the mechitza in the pit because it divides the pit. You can say that the mechitza outside of the pit is not dividing, but you say it comes up and down anyway, so let it come down a little bit more. הרי הוא נחשב כאילו יורד לתוך הבור ומפסיק בין הרשויות. It is considered like it goes inside the pit. I'm going to consider it like it goes all the way down, and it's a separation between the two boundaries. This is according to Rabbi Yehuda. It looks like the halacha is going to be like the Tana Kama. Rabbi Yehuda is that Yachid. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel explains the Tana Kama. So it looks like we're not going to go according to Rabbi Yehuda when it comes to halacha. To do another separation, even though you have a wall, because the separation on top just distinctions. It looks like between the two courtyards, but not the pit itself. You have to make another separation in the pit.